What is up, everybody? Oh my gosh, I'm getting a phone call right when the podcast starts. Is this from the skydiving company? No, there's no way.
Do you want to check it? Just answer.
No, it's not in that. It's not in Leeds, Alabama. Is it?
I don't.
Is it Leeds?
It's Pell City.
Oh my God! Before we started this podcast, hey, wait, back it up. Welcome back to another episode of the Don't Tell Mom podcast.
What's up? You're so ADD.
Oh
you get so distracted. Colin's like, let's start this podcast. Wait, let me take this phone call. I got laundry to do. What's up, y'all? How you doing?
We are the brother and sister duo.
Yep.
If y'all are new here, welcome. Hope you enjoy this episode. And and everything that we are about to talk about and discuss, we are going to talk about anything and everything. That's our motto.
Yeah, we have like a smorgasbord of topics for today. We've kind of talked about it a little bit, but we're just winging it.
We are just winging it.
It's just the two of us today. It's
just
weird.
Just the two of us. I'm just going to sit back.
We can podcast if we want. Just
oh,
the two
nice.
Of us. Look,
we're on episode 50.
50 episodes.
Yeah, usually when we have a guest on, I'm all like up and like feel like I've got to be. It's like going to a meet and greet whenever you're in public, or you're just like exhausted after you sit there and you have to be quote unquote on.
Right.
We don't have to be on anything. You were on.
We should be. We should be on.
You were on 2 weeks ago when you gave me that tattoo.
I know. I was on one. I needed to just while out for a minute. You know when you just feel like you need to go dye your hair crazy colors, get a tattoo. Go skydiving.
Yeah. So she called the company just like 10 minutes ago and was like, hey, we do a podcast. We want to come celebrate.
It's called Don't Tell Mom.
Let's do this.
We're gonna jump out of a plane.
Yeah. So y'all tweet it. What is it? Skydive Alabama or something?
Skydive Alabama. Go on, tweet them.
We're gonna try to Instagram them.
Go find them and tell them that they need to welcome the Don't Tell Mom
Alabama
podcast with open arms.
Yeah, because I want it to be like an epic video, and they won't let us. They said we could bring video equipment. But
we have to get it approved.
We have to get it approved
before we take it on
that.
the plane.
But
that's the good stuff. That's on the plane. That's where you want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why are we going to bring the camera and
Yeah, like I want to be able to use their stuff. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And like if we could
incorporate us knowing what we're doing with
swaps.
Yeah.
Let's
make it happen. Y'all holler at them. Just blow up their phones.
Skydive Alabama.
Just call them every 10 minutes and be like, let Britany and Cullen come do this. It'll be awesome.
Don't tell Mom.
It's 1 year. It's a big deal.
Golly, I was getting nervous when you were talking to that guy too. I was like, oh dang, she's like actually scheduling this shit.
I've done this, Cullen. I've done it 7 times. I've been skydiving 7 times. You've been 0. I mean, why? Why is that? Like, you of all people, I would think would have already done that.
Well, because I kind of told it's kind of like saving yourself for marriage type thing. Like I was not going to do it until I graduated. Full disclosure, I had never graduated college.
That's why you never done it.
So that's one of the reasons. But I just had to have that that milestone in my life to do it, and the 1 year of a podcast, something
because that could be your last thing on Earth you did. You know what I mean? Like literally, well, not even on Earth, above Earth. That'd be the last thing you ever did was go skydiving. You better hope that chute opens.
Oh shit!
You know what we need to do?
You're getting me even more nervous.
You know what we need to do is while we're podcasting, when we go do this. If we do this, which we hopefully will. But if we do this while we're podcasting, we should just sit around and tell like horror stories about skydiving. That'd be awesome. And really get you hyped up for it.
No.
And it's like on and popping at the skydiving place. Like you're there and you're hanging out for a couple hours. Like everybody's waiting on the weather to be right. You got tons of people there.
He said it could be anywhere from 3 to 5 hours.
Yeah, and you're just hanging out with people because they can only take so many people up in the plane at a time, And Jesus. So like I remember when I took Dad, and I think I said this last week. When I took Dad, I took him for his 55th birthday, and he was like, "I'm too old to go skydiving." So what I did was I played him a whole bunch of YouTube videos of like grandmothers that were like 80 and 90 going skydiving. And was like, "All right, pussy, get on the plane, Dad."
We're doing it. He got a senior discount too.
Yeah,
they get $20 off or something.
Spectacular, he said. But,
if we do this, we should like anybody in the area that wants to come out and be part of the podcast,
right? Like a meet and greet at the skydiving.
Even more reason for y'all to tweet or Instagram Skydive Alabama.
Yeah, let's make this like a thing.
And like have like a crowd there to cheer us on or watch us meet our death.
Go get your Don't Tell Mom merch, wear your shirts up there. You know what I mean? That would be awesome, Cullen.
Because you'd have like a Don't Tell, one of your stories is from where you said you were going to the library, but you went to go skydiving.
I did. That was one of my big stories. Yeah, it was. That was one of the good ones too. That was the first time I was ever on an airplane. I jumped out of it.
Oh my gosh.
15 years old. Don't tell mom. Like,
who says that? Like I'm gonna go just try to jump off.
Hey
of this.
man, I've done all the crazy stuff. I've done the hang gliding, the paragliding, the skydiving. Anything where you could almost die or that
adrenaline junkie.
Adrenaline. I know. I don't know what the deal is. I wanted to do everything.
Why you got so crazy into the crazy scene back in the day.
I know. I just needed adrenaline. I was chasing the dream, Cullen. But yeah, so hopefully we'll do this, and we'll. But like I was saying, when I took Dad, there was a bunch of people out there, and so you kind of get to know everybody because you're all just kind of pacing back and forth, sweating it, like thinking, you're just nervous, and you kind of bond with people over that. Everybody else is out there to do the same thing, or you got the like relatives or the girlfriends or the boyfriends or whatever. Everybody's out there, and it becomes like a little party scene.
I'm gonna be
everybody's
calling
talking and hanging out.
All my family and friends, saying my goodbyes.
Right, go ahead and get your will and everything in order for if you die. Yeah, I mean, I doubt that you would die. Like, I think it's pretty safe. I've heard a couple horror stories, but that's
it. I mean, it's got to be pretty safe because, like I said, we saw Michael Warren post about it. Like, it's
they do it kind of what made me think of it. Michael Warren, what's up, buddy?
I'm so analytical. I'm so analytical about everything. I'm like, whoa, hang on, whoa, hang on, wait a minute. Did you get gas in the plane? Did you? Is the wind right? Did I put that parachute in right? I'll triple check everything.
You got to trust the process, Cullen. You got to hope that they checked everything because if you checked it, you didn't know what you were doing anyway. We don't want you checking anything. Keep your mitts off.
Oh my goodness!
But I mean, it's fun. It's a good adrenaline. When you're sitting at the edge of the plane and you about to roll out, that's when it's really like it hits you.
God, my heart is palpitating just thinking about it. Like, and my armpits are getting sweaty, and like my hands. I'm just like,
tighten up, soldier. We're gonna do this, Cullen. It's 1 year. We got to celebrate.
Yes. Speaking of 1 year, June. We were looking back. June 21st was our start date, and so in the next. Actually, while you're listening to this podcast,
you're going to be.
I'm going to be at the beach with Ellie and Jared and Brian and Missy, where we're going to film the 51st episode. Yes. So the episode after that is going to be the skydive episode.
Yeah, y'all are going to have to miss me again. Oh. Boo.
Well, maybe we can like Skype you in or something,
right? That'd be
like
cool.
Have you in there. But yeah, we're like I'm. Told myself, we said it last time I was at the beach with Brian and Missy, but like I was in that addicted state of life where I just said I was going to do this, and then I was like too interested in other things,
right, to do it.
And like now I'm like foot down. It's kind of like this podcast. We said we're going to start this podcast. We did it, and now we're going to freaking do a podcast. We're at the beach with Ellie and Jared.
Because we're not going to miss one, Cullen. We've gone this whole time without missing 1 week, so
I can't believe that.
I know you're going to be out of town, but that just means that you're going to have to rally while you're there, and you got to get your friends on, help you, and that'll be fun though. It'll be like all of y'all together, and I'm sure y'all got some stories and some things to talk about, so it'll be good.
Yeah, it should be interesting. It should be good.
I'm excited to listen to it after when you get done. So
So like I said, we're at the beach right now while y'all are listening to this podcast. There's no telling what we're getting into, but we've got 7 kids staying here with us right now.
Holy moly!
This is so weird talking in the present, but being in the future,
right? This is what happens when you record early, so you can go do these things. Everything, all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. That's what we're doing right now.
I was actually looking back when I was going back through, seeing exactly when we started, and then I saw on January 15th, which we're going to play some of these voice memos.
Yeah, we haven't played voice memos in a while.
But that kind of brought up some of the memories going back, looking over the past year, and I was just like, God, look at all these stories that we've talked about. I
mean, we've kind of covered a lot of ground, Cullen.
Yeah.
We went on turns and in directions that we didn't even know we were going to go on, and I'm kind of proud of it.
And then you had a baby in between all this.
I had a baby. You came out with all your stuff and kind of aired your dirty laundry, which was good for you, I think. And then, we've had tons of awesome people on. Y'all, what about the guests we've had?
The guests have really picked up. I thought that was a cool little
what do y'all think about
turn of events? Do you like the guests, or do you just like it just like us just sitting here chit-chatting?
I mean, sometimes I think me personally, I love having guests on, but every now and then I think we need to take it back home. Like you said, you don't have to feel on. Look at you just lounging in your chair, all relaxed. Like it's just us and y'all. It's just us and the mic and the people listening, or the camera and the people watching, or whatever. And we can kind of bring it back home.
It
see how we're doing, and kind of talk about whatever we want.
Like a deep breath. I just got a message from Carson, who was on our last episode, who's part of the Legendary Shots.
Yes, that was so much fun.
Oh my gosh! If y'all missed that episode, you got to watch it more than anything. If you're on YouTube,
we have a lot of people that listen to us like religiously. Like, thank you so much for all the people that actually listen to our podcast, because that's what a podcast is. It's where you sit and listen. Or you're driving in the car and you're listening to a podcast, and we have like a consistent following of people like y'all that are on the podcast that listen to us every week. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. All of you are amazing. But
I was just about to say, this is a great time with the next episode, or the one when we're at the beach, and then the next one being the skydiving. This is a great time to pay tribute and thanks to everybody while we have a chance, while we are chill, and not doing all the crazy stuff.
Us and y'all,
so thank y'all so much for all the consistency. Like, we've been consistent putting these things out, but y'all been consistent with your apps and listening. And it looks like a lot of y'all listen on Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts is where we get the most of them.
The main one. But there's a bunch of other listening apps. I'm curious. Leave a comment on YouTube or another voice memo. What do y'all prefer to listen to, or do you listen and watch? That's like double points.
That's 2 times Tuesday. That's what we're trying to. That's what we've been trying to push on y'all this whole time. Was go listen, and then listen on your way to work, and then when you get home, sit down in front of the TV and watch us.
I think it gives you such a different dynamic, because I'll do that with some of the podcasts I listen to, especially Impulsive with Logan Paul. He does the video portion, and then he cuts the video off, and then does an audio portion, which is like just the audio Q&A. But it's just interesting, if you happen to catch part of it in the car, to even go back to the part that you caught on audio and watch the visual, just to see, because watching somebody's eyes and the way they move, or the way they look at the guest, or the way they react when you don't see it, it's a cool different dynamic.
It's like reading the book or watching the movie. You know what I mean?
It's
kind of like that whole.
It's like, oh, I read that in a total different tone than the way he said it in the movie.
Exactly, right? Yes. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm a visual person, so I like to see anyway. I want to see what's going on, but sometimes, if you do listen and then go back and watch, which a few of you do, you probably hear stuff the second time around that you didn't. You know what I mean? That you didn't hear the first time. Yeah. It's like watching a good movie twice.
There's times where in the editing, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot we even talked about that. And then I'll
we're getting big headed over here, Cullen.
Let's listen to some of these voice memos.
Yes, I wanted to play some of these, because we had some on that we hadn't. Let's see. I don't even know where to start, Cullen, because I forgot where we were.
See, if you're listening, you didn't know I just took a sip of water, but if you're watching...
Hey, guys. Donna Elliott here. So, big fan.
What's up, Donna?
Been watching Cullen and Katie since shortly after Gaines was born, and been watching Corey and Britany since they started their vlogs.
What's up?
And have watched almost every single podcast. Love you guys. Big fan.
Woo!
My question for you guys is, what was your experience like going through miscarriage? And what did it do to your faith in God? I am also an angel mom. I have 3 angel babies.
Aww.
And my faith went up and down differently through each of my miscarriages. So I'm just kind of curious as to how you guys came out on the other end of your miscarriages. Love you guys.
Thank you. That was a good question.
Cool. Yeah, good question.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, well, one of our first videos when we talked about our miscarriage was called God's Plan. But I don't think I initially wanted to call it that, because we initially didn't even want to vlog anything that day. And we hadn't missed a day. We were daily vloggers. That's like when daily vlogging was a thing. And it was one of those days where we're like, I'm just not going to put up a vlog, and we're just going to act like nothing happened. And screw anybody and everything. This day sucks. And just
bah humbug.
Like, why would anybody have to go through this? Or it's kind of like you question God and faith and all that whenever you see all the tragedy that happens, or when somebody dies that you're close to. It's like you go through all those stages of emotion and grief and all that. Yeah, and but then it just circles. It comes full circle, every time, and it's so crazy. But yeah, no, I can totally relate with how she said.
Y'all didn't have just one, too. Y'all had 2 miscarriages.
2, 3. Yeah, was it? Golly, I can't even keep up. We had, yeah.
You had 2, and then you had Gaines.
Gaines, yeah. And then, Gaines was already my baby, and then we didn't have one in between Gaines and Brooks.
Y'all were good.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, to have to go through that twice, I can't even imagine. Or people that go through it a ton of times and then end up having to get, IVF and all these things done. And we're actually, me and Corey were talking about that the other day. We know we have some friends that are going through that and, had the traumatic, late miscarriage, and things like that. And it just kind of puts things into perspective. For me, I had never... I just never even for a second thought that would happen to me. You know what I mean? And it's so real. And I'm glad that you, Cullen, and that there's so many people out there, influencers and people, YouTubers and stuff that are actually being open and talking about it openly. Because according to my doctor,
taboo back then.
Yeah. I mean, according to my doctor, this happens to so many women. Some women don't even know that they were pregnant and miscarrying. Don't even know that they ever did. They just missed a period or something. But for us, it definitely tested the faith, I guess. We were real mad. We were real mad. We were real sad. I just, like I said, I did not expect that. I got hit with that. And I've always just been, healthy as an ox and thought that would never happen to me. And then it did. And it was very trying on our relationship. And I'm just glad that we were able to, have the baby. So we're able to get back in the saddle, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and I remember when it happened with you, it's so easy to say after the fact, it happened, did Mom ever have one? You start thinking about the logistics of it all, and
right.
Then it's well, what if it happens again, or what if it never happened, or all this stuff starts, the worst plays out in your head and stuff. But
right now it's crazy too because it's such a sensitive subject. There's so many people that, have miscarried or several times or whatever and aren't able to have a baby that want a baby. And then you have all this stuff in the news right now about abortions and Alabama, our state made it, I think, illegal. I don't.
Yeah, I don't even know what the.
But it's you can't have an abortion anymore in Alabama, I guess. But people were using it as birth control and stuff. 93% of people getting abortions were using as a form of birth control instead of something traumatic happening and things like that. And whatever your opinion on that is, to each their own.
I've kind of just not even I've seen some of the tweets about all that stuff, and then I've been getting tweets or been getting an Instagram
New
message.
York versus Alabama, how crazy our country is so divided on it. You know what I mean? You got people that you basically have an abortion all the way up to having the baby in New York, and then down here in Alabama they made it where you can't have one at all.
It's just crazy. And then we're representing our state, or I don't know. I'm look, I didn't do this. Don't come at me, bro.
Yeah, I saw something that was LA bans flights or California banned flights to Alabama or something. They don't
really?
because of it. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I should even say. I think that it's a woman's choice. It's her body,
totally.
Whatever. But yeah, it's just a sensitive subject right now, and there's so many things out there that just bring that that feeling back up. Oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine doing that because I wanted this baby so bad, and then I lost it, and then I don't know. I don't know. For me, it's up and down for sure, but I think, like you said, Cullen, it comes full circle, and now we have our beautiful rainbow baby. I don't know if y'all seen my child, but she's perfect.
I know.
She's so beautiful. And then I'm well, if I hadn't gone through the miscarriage, would she have not even been here?
That's
you know what I
the
mean?
thing is then you're reminded by her every day, how great our God is. Oh my God, this is what I was waiting for. There's been times I'm the other two wouldn't have been Gaines, and
right?
That's just crazy to even think about. Which, not to discredit any of the that kind of stuff.
But yeah, you said, she wouldn't be here if you had, because y'all wouldn't have been. Or with us, we named when we first got pregnant, we named him Oscar because of our baloney joke and whatever. We just anyway, we named him little Oscar, and we really thought that, we were pregnant and this was happening or whatever. And then when we miscarried and we found out, it tore our world apart. And then we got pregnant with Sophia, and now we have this beautiful little baby. And it's weird to think that, I would have still been pregnant with Oscar and when she was conceived, you know what I mean?
That is crazy.
She would have just never even been. And so anyway, I think that there's a purpose. And
did y'all find out?
We found ours.
What it was, female, male?
No.
Like, did y'all do the gene testing? I can't remember. I think we did, and it was girl. Both of ours were girls.
No, we just said.
I don't know if we could have.
I didn't even know that you could do that.
I think you could have, or not necessarily. Or see like what happened, like what would have happened, or like what and
that'd probably drive me crazy.
It was like a common, there was a common thing there, like it wouldn't have survived based on this or that,
and that's why a lot of miscarries happen is because it wouldn't have come to full term anyway. Like there was something wrong, and so it wasn't meant to be, But yeah, like I don't know. I mean, everything's okay now. I mean, like we'll never forget, but at the same time, we have this beautiful rainbow baby. And so congratulations to you on your 3 little rainbow babies.
Thank you for the voice memo.
Thank you for the voice memo and leaving us that, because it gives you something to think about, doesn't it? And appreciate, something to be appreciative for. Let's listen to this one. Let's see who this is. Mama Donna.
Hey, Britany, Cullen, this is me, Terrence from Hey Mama Donna podcast. I just want to say you guys are freaking awesome. I love your video, your podcast. I watch you on YouTube.
Yeah, dog.
Fun jazz. Talk to you later.
He sounds like he's thanks, man.
Dude.
He sounds like he's from California, man. Doesn't he? Like I wonder where some of these folks are from. Let's see. Where's this one? Here we go.
Britany and Cullen, thank you for your podcast today and opening my eyes and questioning myself on why I have the addictions that I do. I've smoked pot since I was 15 years old and I'm now 33, and as much as I love it and I live in an illegal state, I often wonder, why am I needing it to get through my day so much? Why does it make everything so much more fun and also make me so much more hungry? But thank you for opening the conversation and sharing your stories and letting me know that I'm not the only full-grown adult out there that has their issues and feels ashamed or, and I also have the guilt. I've been smoking cigarettes, lost my mom to lung cancer a couple of years ago, so you guys, your stories mean a lot more than you know. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. What's your name?
This was back, she said that, I think she left it the day that we put an addiction episode out, but her name's Kelly. Thank you, Kelly, for leaving that.
So much, Kelly. I think you're on the right track, though. Like questioning yourself if you are thinking like that. I was looking back. I think it was January 15th or something when we were sitting over at your house and just started talking about your nursery.
It was heavy on your mind,
yeah, and it was just one of those things. I just came
trying
out
to beat around the bush.
Talked around, my black hole of addiction. I'll link it in the iCard on YouTube. January 15th. It's just that kind of like the whole taboo topic of miscarriage and how it's not talked about all the time. It's like these grown ass adults that have been dealing with these quote unquote addictions, whether you think they are or not, or and I think
inner demons,
inner voices. I think if you're already like leaving a voice memo questioning yourself, then you probably need to go look deeper into your soul.
Maybe get some help.
And try to find what it is that you're depending, or why you want to be like I kind of said in the past on things. I didn't want to like mow the grass or put together a toy without getting high first, because it would make it more fun. Like, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But so
I mean, I'm actually glad that she left that, and that kind of makes me, kind of leads me into a question I've been wanting to ask you, and this is usually when I see you is when we sit down and do these podcasts, but we've had guests and I hadn't had the time to kind of touch base with you and see how you're doing with your addiction and the struggle with that, and how you're coping and what's going on. Give us an update, Cullen.
Well, I've been rolling blunts after. I'm just kidding.
Yes, not.
No. And I think it's kind of funny that I can actually joke about it, because, like, in the past couple months ago, I'd have been like, "Golly, this is so hard." But now, and I was just texting Katie with this because it's still a thing with me and Katie, you know, is just as far as, you know, regaining trust and going through that whole cycle.
Right. The dishonesty goes hand in hand with the addiction. So that's a recovery process in itself.
Right. And so I'm constantly battling with that as far as making the commitment to myself, not to Katie, but to myself. Yeah. Most importantly. And I think that's where I've just like, I'm like, I can joke about it. I can like reminisce on it and think about it, but like have the desire is not there anymore like it used to be, like where I would just like bend over backwards or do anything to get the next fix. Which is just crazy looking back on it now. It's just like why I'm like that preacher, that meme. why but yeah, no, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. I've been doing lots of self-help, and me and Katie have been going to couples therapy, which it was her therapist, and then all this stuff started coming up with me, and then she invited me, and then it turned into like a couples thing, so it was kind of crazy, but she recommended like this renowned therapist, Jay Lloyd. I don't know if anybody around the area knows of him, but he was booked for like 2 months out, and got my first appointment with him coming up in June 21st.
Okay, so this will be a new one for you.
A new guy that's almost, she's the therapist that we're currently seeing has described him as an older mentor, like dad figure type, somebody, and a guy, not a woman. So I'll have more of a opportunity to maybe even open up even more.
Okay, so this will be a new guy for
and I'll
you.
be by myself, you know, it'll just be...
You can really spill all the beans.
Yeah, because, I mean, not like me and Katie are open books, but it's still just like you don't want to say something to stoke any type of underlying fire that was there from several years ago or months ago or whatever, when we're sitting there on the same couch in the same room, and then we're like ending up like not talking to each other or arguing on the way home when it's supposed to be a therapy session. Yeah. So it's just, we've really gotten a lot better as far as that goes, and like saying, hey, what's up? Why are you acting like this?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, it takes
still days, you know, where we'll have our
I think it takes a long time. Like it doesn't take very long to do something stupid, but it can take a really long time to heal from that stupid act. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
totally.
I think that's kind of what you're probably going through. But the first step is just to, like you did already, and admit that, you know, there's something more. I'm grateful, you know, that you aren't, you know, really bad case. You know what I mean? Because I think that you could have gone off the cliff way harder than you did. I'm glad that you were able to stop and realize that you have a problem and reel yourself back in. And, you know, you're able to do that kind of here at home with yourself. And
I think about that all the time. I'm like, golly, I could have like lost
this could have been real bad.
Yeah.
But, you know, you have so many people that love you and that want to see you succeed and do good, and definitely don't want you hurting yourself or going down that road. So I'm glad that you were able to kind of stop and reel yourself back in or whatever, even though it's, some people might say, okay, well, that's not that deep.
Yeah.
But for you, it was, because it was causing all these problems, you know?
And it could have easily gone any direction.
Yeah. Like, yeah. It could have very easily gone.
I was open to anything and everything.
Bad.
Yeah. So
the first step you did, and it was admitting that you had the problem, and then, you know, stopping. Just stop doing it. So I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you're doing good.
I'm doing great. I'm constantly looking for any help and any guidance and advice and all that kind of stuff on the reg.
Yeah, right. So if y'all have anything that you want to,
I love you, but I don't trust you. I would say that I would recommend that to anybody.
That book, yeah,
anybody. It doesn't even matter if you've got trust issues or like anything. But that book, I sat there and I listened to like almost the whole thing one night. After me and Katie were arguing about trust, I was like, I got to find something to figure out like what is going through her head so I can better understand her. And then I told her about it, and she listened to it, and she's like, oh my God, like this is amazing. This is incredible. Like it's actually...
Y'all in your listening to books. I can't do it. I can't listen to a book.
It's therapeutic though. Like you're washing dishes or the kids go to bed or you're riding from one place to the next. You just...
Get in the zone, right?
Oh my gosh. And then you're like, you see things completely different in a different light when you...
See, I want that, Cullen. I want that, but I can't sit there and listen to somebody that talks funny and that I don't, you know what I mean? I think that my problem with like Audible and all this, I think that listening to books or podcast or anything, to listen to somebody, I have to like their voice, you know?
Well,
and 9 times out of 10,
that's what
I probably
got me
don't.
with this. I even told Katie that before. That was like one of my selling points to Katie to listen to the book was, and I like her voice. And I put it up on 1.5 speed or 1.25 because, you know, I've got a...
How do they do that? 1.2? Or did she just talk a little bit faster?
Yeah. It just speeds it up so you, get through the book faster.
Okay.
And your brain processes a lot faster than you realize. So, like, y'all are hearing us talk right now, and you just didn't even hear that I said y'all are hearing us talk right now because you've heard it. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, it's
right
one of those
now.
things,
I see
you know
what
I
you're
mean?
saying. Okay.
Instead of just on that one slow speed, and it's just so boring.
Yeah,
like that
I
kind of
can't
stuff.
do that. I didn't know you could adjust the speed, though. See, I need to get
you
help
that,
with the program.
You can get that
here.
hoe up on like 2.5 or something. She'll be
just speed through it. Go through a book by dinner.
But no, there were several times where I would like have to replay the ish because I was like, wait, what did she just say?
Yeah, she was going a little too fast.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more. Yeah, let's try this one.
Hey, Britany and Cullen, this is Becky from Albany. I have to laugh when you mentioned the
Albany.
1-cent CDs. It just brought my sister and I, we were very close in age, we're 15 months apart, but we used to order the CDs, and you get like 12 for $1 or something crazy, and then we'd never pay the bill, and we were just laughing the other day about it, going, whatever happened to those bills that we owed like $30 by the time we were done, because it was like you paid $1, but you had to buy full price CDs for like 3 years, and it just made us laugh that after 10, 15 years, there ain't no bills. So go ahead and order those. Have a good night. Awesome podcast. Bye.
Oh yeah, she's left. What's up, Becca? She's left a couple of.
Do you like tapes or CDs better?
Me?
Yeah.
CD, duh.
CDs nuts.
Oh God, I should have saw that coming. Got me again.
Dad jokes.
Did you ever take your CD player and like with your fingernail, you'd have to like real carefully on the very edge of the next track, you'd have to like hold it down to fast forward it?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Where you have to like hold the CD player and you don't want to skip the whole song, you just want to fast forward it, but you couldn't fast forward a CD. You could just skip tracks. What? And so you'd have to hold it down, but if you hold it down just right at the corner of the skip track thing, and it would fast forward the CD for you.
How am I just now? You probably scratched the hell out of some CDs.
I was probably thinking like, dang, that's probably why all my CDs were jacked up.
Yeah, I saw, this is like going back to the old school. I saw a Facebook ad the other day. It was a phone case. And on the back side of the phone case was an actual Game Boy. Like with like 12 or 15 games
that you could really play.
So your
Tetris?
phone case, yes, your phone case was a Game Boy.
What?
On one side it was a Game Boy.
Cullen knows what to get me for Christmas.
I know. I was like, oh my god.
How much was it?
I didn't click on the link because then you start getting all these suggested links. But
oh my gosh, Cullen, this sounds awesome. What are you talking about?
Let's go.
I clicked on that link so fast and bought that. I'm so bad, y'all, about ordering T-shirts online. I got one.
I went through that phase.
I didn't even remember ordering this one, and I got one. It's a sunflower on the side of it says, "I'm blunt because God rolled me that way," and I thought that was so funny and ordered it. $25 later, I got the I Love Bologna shirt. I went on a bologna rampage one day. Got a bunch of bologna shirts. I got all these just weird stuff. I got Corey a Father's Day present, which I don't think he listens to my podcast, so this will be our test right here to see if he does. I mean, I know he does, but not all of them. He better listen to all of them. So I got him for Father's Day, I got him a mug that says, "Thanks for not hitting it and quitting it." Happy Father's Day. Look, there it is. Cullen just pulled it up.
It's only $20. Are you kidding me?
Can we just talk right now about, this life that we're living in right now and all the cool shit out there for just nerds like us?
I mean, it is insane.
What did I send y'all to the group chat this morning? It was
I never even clicked on it, but I saw.
It was a ball. Yeah, here it is. Testicle cooling device. It's set to go on sale later this year. What? And it was funny because I saw this on Facebook and somebody was like, just making a reference to like, guys and y'all get all the cool stuff. And I don't know. Anyway, I saw this and I had to send it into the group chat for Cullen and
this is what
Corey.
the group chat in our family is like.
Yeah.
What? 36. I said 12. 36 classic games.
What?
And it's got a micro USB so you can charge it. So you can.
If I don't get that for Christmas, listen here, Santa.
Oh my gosh.
Santa, if you're listening, this is what I want.
There's some YouTube videos out there that say it works and stuff.
So unreal, dude. That is awesome.
Do you know, like, what I would like? I would just delete all of my apps, like my social media apps, like everybody's doing these days, and just play on my Game Boy instead.
Right? This is okay. So this was not going to be our topic for today, but now we've gone down the rabbit hole. I have to tell you, have you ever gone on this website called thisiswhyimbroke.com?
I used to go on thisiswhyimbfat.com and see like the hamburgers with brownies in between them. Oh my gosh.
You're so crazy. That's so weird.
I used to get on these websites at my old job and just sit there mindlessly scrolling.
Yeah,
they have some of the weirdest,
Cullen,
coolest
look at
things.
this, a taco sleeping bag blanket. Like seriously, y'all don't go on this website if you don't have any money to buy stuff because this website is thisiswhyimbroke.com. Okay,
right now.
They have
send us an invoice.
They have hang on. There was something I saw earlier that I was like, oh my god, I have to get Cullen that.
Oh, it's the internet's mall. It says.
Yeah, it is. A personal cooling mist system. That's awesome. So you like wear it and it just mists you. We need that down here in Alabama because it's hot.
Look at this is the kind of stuff I love.
They have an air tent. There was so many things on here. I was like, oh my god, Cullen would totally get that for his kids.
Everything I want to do is illegal. Learn about what you've actually been putting in your mouth and humans.
Yes.
What?
Look at this one. It says the no phone air. It's $5.99 and it's literally just a guy's hand. It's like an invisible phone. I wonder how many people have bought that, Cullen.
I want to know how many people have bought this zip popper thing that oozes out little popping
Oh my
toys.
god, I was gonna get that for Katie for Christmas.
I was about to say Katie would absolutely love that.
Yes, and the blanket, the softest blanket in the world. Keep going because you're on the same page I was on.
Oh my
god, look at this one, Cullen. It's prank money wads. So it looks like a rolled up wad of money, like a drug dealer money, with the rubber band. I
saw Jesse Wellens from Prank vs. Prank back in the day. He went to a UFC fight one night, I think, and ended up, it was after the fight, everybody was rowdy, and he did it as a joke. He threw a wad of money, the fake wad of money, on the ground, and he ended up getting arrested because it caused like a stampede and like a fight with all these other people or something like that. It was crazy. God, this website is so freaking crazy. I would totally
you have to go
one
on
of
there.
everything. Look at that toilet paper.
Look at this toilet paper gun. I was going to get you that for Christmas.
Oh my gosh, I would roll so many trees. Who's listening? Have you ever TP'd a house?
Yeah.
Or we used to call it rolling. Rolling.
I TP and salted the golf course you live on. I actually TP'd and like salt. You know how you can salt the grass and it kills the grass and then it writes whatever.
There are some hardcore.
Like we drew like a big penis or something on the golf course. We were like 15. We were dumb, but you know it was fun. It was like on the country club golf course. It was really bad. That was so wrong.
Veterans in this neighborhood that would probably do anything. Can you get arrested for something you did 20 years ago?
Oh, I don't know. I hope
they
not.
Would probably
they'd be knocking at your door. Look at this one. It's the Trump presidential wall game. So it's like that. Trump sitting on the wall. It's like Humpty Dumpty, but it's Trump instead. Oh, this is what I really want. Oh my gosh. It's a non-lethal salt self-defense gun. So it's a gun, but instead of bullets, it has like these little, I guess, salt
Those
pellets
things really
or something.
Hurt, yeah.
Can we please get that and let me hit you with
I almost got I've got a firing taser.
Yes,
I almost got that out in slow-mo. This is why you like this website, because the one birthday you got me one of these things kind of like this that was like it was a gun, but you filled it up with shots and it was like a roulette and you just rolled it like it was a revolver and you roll it. And
I got you that, didn't I?
Open up your mouth and but at the end of the day I was like, okay, just give me a shot.
Yeah, right. Like this is a lot of work, and then you got to clean your sticky gun. And this one's a good one. I'm gonna get this one for myself and just for the house. Passive aggressive notes, and it's like these little notes that you just check which one is bothering you. This is totally one that I'm doing. It's a hidden door kit. So I don't know if you know this, but we're like we're like giant children, me and Corey are. And we want so bad to have a speakeasy in our basement. We have an unfinished basement.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
And we, like, ever since we looked at the house, before we even bought it, we're like, oh, this would be perfect for a speakeasy. Because downstairs we have like a, what do you call it? Like a storm shelter, that's all concrete. It's got like a concrete door. But before that, it's just this long, it's an unfinished basement, but it's studded out for like 2 bedrooms, or there's a fireplace, it's a walkout basement. So anyway, we have always said when we get a house, when we grow up, we're going to get a house and we're going to have a hidden door. So what we're going to do is do like a bookcase or whatever, and you pull the right book, and then that book unlatched, and then you can go in the back, and then behind the bookshelf hidden door is going to be like a speakeasy, and that's where we're going to have like the bar downstairs. Get like a poker table, have a little bar, you know what I mean? It's going to be all the fun.
That would be amazing.
Right? So this has been our goal in life, and now I'm on this website right now. Tell me it's not fate. This is why I'm broke. It's a hidden door kit. It's everything you need to make your hidden bookcase door.
Literally?
Literally, there's the kit for that. Like, hello.
Let's do it. I was just looking at this, my first fire, and it's like a little kid sitting in front of a fire.
But that doesn't seem right. That's this really
like,
little
what?
kid, too, on here.
It's ages 2 and up. It says an 8-ounce fuel can.
What?
12-inch poker, 4 Endura logs, 18-inch fire ring. Explore the wonders of fire. What is this?
So silly.
Oh, it's a joke box. Oh, it's a box that you... Oh, okay, I see. It's like a gift box. So you would give it to somebody that just had a baby or that has a toddler, and they open it up, and they actually have something else in there, but they're like, why the hell did I just get a fire kit for my 2-year-old?
That is so funny. I love this one. It's just a can that says whoop ass, and you can open it. It's $5.99.
That's what Corey needs right here. Door knocker balls.
I know, right? Cullen, seriously, I could go through this all day.
Literally go through this.
All day.
Let us know what some of your favorite websites are. One of mine used to be back in the day, eBaum's World. Do you remember that?
Yeah. What was that one about? That was just crazy.
It was
stuff.
just like crazy, like people getting in car crashes or like jumping off buildings and skydiving.
Whatever happened to that one?
I think it probably got taken down because it started getting really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just one of those mindless entertainment like sites. Oh, I've always wanted to get one of these too.
What is that?
The drunk piggyback ride home costume.
Oh, yeah.
Where it looks like the guy's giving you a piggyback ride.
I'm telling you, Cullen, you're about to go through y'all's savings account buying cool stuff on this website. I should have never told you that.
Oh, my gosh.
That was cute.
What is this? Oreo? Game of Thrones? Oh, my God. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So can we talk about the Game of Thrones?
I never
was so
watched
pissed.
it. I never watched it. I was so glad everybody stopped talking about it. I've never seen it.
I mean, like, we've been busy doing other stuff. We hadn't had time to sit down and let me just vent. Here's bitching with Britany, okay? Listen, this whole time, and then the Raven gets it. He don't even want it. Like, what?
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I think that's what...
I was so pissed. Jon Snow's not it. Spoiler alert. Jon Snow didn't get it. The Queen of Dragons dies.
I'm so glad that everybody's so mad about it, because it was everybody raved about it, and then everybody raved about how horrible it was at the end.
I was just so disappointed. And it's funny because I did not read the books, but our sister Annie, she read all the books. And I wonder if she knew this was coming, like how disappointing this was going to be. You know what I mean? I wonder if she saw this all coming. But she said she never watched the show because she read the books. Well.
Oh, we should get some of these Death Nuts.
Death Nuts?
They're
That sounds terrible.
Carolina Reaper pepper-based nuts. Instead of like a Carolina pepper, it's like nut.
A nut that's going to burn you?
It says forget about the Dorito challenge or whatever. These are like Carolina Reaper peanuts. Golly, we could try to do that and have a podcast.
Let me ask you, while you're at the beach this weekend, do you plan on doing some of your crazy Cullen pranks down at the beach?
I haven't thought about it, actually. Like, I've just been in dad mode.
What you need to do is go order that wad of money and just put it out and see. And you know what I mean? Like, put it on a fishing line or something and see how many people go for it and get excited. Because this is like a fake wad of money that you would get freaking excited about, y'all. It's like a big fat one. You know what I mean? And like hide, like do it on a part of the beach where there's no people. And so, you know what I mean? Like you're hidden back behind the chairs and the one of those boxes, like the trash boxes or whatever, like hide to where they don't think anybody's around. They think they've got it. You know what I mean? That would be so good, right?
So that brings me to a question. Would you, because I've heard some stories, like a guy found like $10,000 cash in a briefcase.
Oh my God,
and
Cullen.
returned it.
Yes, returned it.
And he would have never gotten busted.
True story.
Would you do that?
Listen, true story. Call Corey right now, and he'll tell you. His buddy just texted him last night and said he does construction, like remodeling or whatever, in the roof of his bedroom or whatever, like behind the drywall, he had a secret stash that his wife didn't know about. Okay, and because he's passed away, and he passed away with the secret. Like he never told anybody about his stash. He had $20,000 in cash and jewelry stashed in his ceiling. Okay, it's his old guy, and he passed away. He didn't tell his wife about it. She has no idea, right? She's just getting like some work done at their house. And Corey's friend, one of his best friends, Mark, if you're listening to this, I think you're dumb. I think you were. No, I'm just kidding. I'd have kept it. No, but he's working on the house, and he finds, and it's like wrapped in aluminum foil and all this. He finds like this treasure in the ceiling, and he gives it to him.
Oh my
he turns it in, and then but this is what he does. He gives it to the lady, and he says, well, now you can afford to do the kitchen. Because he's like remodeling the bedroom.
That is a good way to look at it. Like, he's going to get his money if he's doing work
but he
for
turned
him.
it in, and so he's been getting, everybody's like, oh, man, I can't believe you would have had 20 grand,
This day and age, though, you don't know if it's, like, set up. I would be too skeptical. Like this,
that's a risk I'm willing to take. I'm just kidding. But would you really? I mean, if
you,
no one would have gotten hurt
you
by
were
that.
Gonna get away with it.
If he had taken that, no one would have been hurt because nobody knew about it. The only person in the whole world that even knew it was there is died. He's no longer with it. And the wife didn't know. He's not hurting them because they didn't know they had it in the first place.
But the friend didn't know that she didn't know. That's where it's now if you were on like a construction site that was being newly renovated or something, nobody's living in a house, and you dig it up in the backyard.
Yeah, that's the key. That's keeper.
I'm going with it. I'm sorry.
I'm canceling the job and everything.
Yeah, like
I'm sorry, I can't make it in. I'm sick.
Yeah,
you gotta find somebody else.
And you
finish
drive
this
away
job.
and
there's one hole in the
Tesla.
backyard.
Yeah,
drive away in a Tesla.
That's crazy.
I mean, would you listen to this? Okay, this is like real. This is not fake news, Cullen. This really happened today. I saw it on my Facebook. I don't know. It could very well be fake news, but I saw on my Instagram or my Facebook that in Alabama, where you're about to go down to the beach, they have washed up in Orange Beach, Gulf Shore, Orange Beach, washed up $1 million worth of drugs. There was 20 kilos of marijuana and then 1 kilo of cocaine washed up. Well, then the next day, 38 more kilos of cocaine washed up on the beach.
Somebody's boat tipped over.
I mean, it looked like it was waterproof, so they meant to throw it into the water. And then, I could just, as soon as I'm reading it, and I was just thinking, there's the guy on the dinghy that's reaching for it, trying to get it. The Coast Guard's coming this way. He's right out. It's like, Wilson. You know what I mean? It's right out of his reach, $1 million.
God,
what would you have done, Cullen?
He's probably got a death threat on him now, or a bounty on his head for not coming.
Yeah, because they thought they just
that middleman just got
middleman just got whacked,
got gone. Yeah,
I mean, really though, what would you have done?
I think about that, with shiesty cops and stuff. Like, you pull over somebody and you can tell they've got something on them or something. Like, how many? If there's any police officers out there that want to come on and testify, I
want to hear.
I want to hear about this.
Ooh, we should get a cop.
Yeah, let's get a police officer on here. I want to know what is the. I know there's your morals and your grounds for being the good person of the law and stuff like that. Right. But you're
a human being,
right?
Though. If the lady's grabbing at your britches, saying, "Please don't give me this ticket. I'll do anything."
Oh, well, I wouldn't go in there. and you're not married or in a relationship, then okay, that's a different story. I would say, I don't know, but see, that's another feeding your addiction or feeding your desire, your lust, or whatever.
This is a good topic. Your moral code.
Your moral code. What would you do if you could just say, okay, there's 20 kilos in a trunk. And you got the dash cam turned off. But I mean, I guess you're going to get drug tested if you're working for the law enforcement or whatever, So there's that issue.
It makes me think about Training Day. When Denzel hops back in the car and the guy's like, "Why'd she scream about money, man?" He just went in there, just busted in there as a cop, took their money, left.
Oh man.
Like that's what if I was a crooked cop, that's what I'd do.
Right?
I just bust up in the drug dealers' houses, take all their money, and so they can't re-up, right? And then leave. And no one. I mean, what's he gonna do?
Right.
Call the cops.
That is the
Sucker.
other thing. Is there's so many cell phones and all that stuff these days with video.
Yeah,
cameras
somebody's
and
recording.
Somebody's
you.
getting got. Yeah, so. I don't know, but back in the day, I've always wondered,
it's what you do when no one's watching, Cullen. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
What would you do?
What would
I want to
you
know.
do?
I want to know who out there would have taken what would you even do if you got the drugs? Or like if it washed up on the beach and you're walking the beach at night, nobody around, and 38 kilos of cocaine washed up on the beach, and you know it's worth $1 million, but you don't know anybody. You don't do drugs. You don't know anybody that.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do with that? Oh my God, there was a show about this.
There was something called. There's a show called "What Would You Do?" Like
there was I just watched it. Maybe it was
they do
Netflix.
like the public
This actually happened to a guy, and he, the same situation. Like he found a bunch of drugs, or he like dug it up, or no, somebody told. Oh, this is what the show was about. Somebody told him that there was a buried treasure on this island, right in the Bahamas, and that he had stashed a whole bunch of drugs and buried it because he thought he was about to get in trouble. So he buried all the drugs and then left. Well, so the story gets around. This is, if y'all have seen the show, tell me what it's called. But anyway, he flies down there and he wants to see if the guy's full of shit or not. And he digs it up, and sure enough, there's whatever,
Really?
50 kilos of cocaine or whatever. And so he gets it.
Treasures from the Wreck of the Unbelievable. Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
Legend of Cocaine Island.
That's it. The Netflix. Legend of Cocaine Island. That's the Netflix. And this guy, y'all, if y'all watch this guy, bless his heart, he's just an average Joe, you know what I mean? He ends up getting in all this trouble, and it's like, they like basically set him up.
See, that's the thing is like if you don't know anybody, but like,
what if it was a setup?
What if it's a setup, or like, I would just be like, there's got to be a give and take there. Like if you find that, you should be rewarded for that. Like not getting distributed to
getting it off the street, or getting it off the
so
beach.
It's like, I'm gonna hold this kilo of cocaine until you pay me.
Yeah, but what do you do? Well, what if you it washes up on the beach and then you pick it up and you're intending to go in and turn it into the authorities, and in the process, and then on your way to the cop, like you're just walking into the cop station with a backpack full of drugs, and you're like, I promise, I just found this. I mean, you can't.
Got like white hair and
it's
all in your hair.
Some things are just better left alone, Cullen.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Just keep on walking.
Oh man, that's
That's like a whole nother podcast. I could talk about your moral compass all day long.
I want to dive into that more, because there's been some times where it's like, I've done the right thing over the wrong thing
when no one was watching,
when nobody was watching. But then there's other times where I'm like, oh, there's a $5 bill right there. I'm just going to pick it up.
Yeah, what do you do? What if you
walking.
can't? There's nothing you can do. Like, what are you going to do? Run around screaming, did anybody lose this $5 bill? Then some jackass without a moral compass is going to get it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is
You're like, well, I should have it.
Yeah, there have been times where I picked up like a Rolex, or not, I don't know what it was, but like there was something like there was lost, obviously. Somebody left their pair of Oakleys or something, like a $150 pair of sunglasses laying there. Right. I picked them up and said, anybody leaving their sunglasses? Some guy that I knew was lying straight to my face was like, give it to me. And puts them in his pocket, walks away. I'm like, damn.
That could have been me.
Well, either that or I just now I feel bad, or and then I'm gonna.
Now the right person will never get it. Yeah.
So it's like, what do I do?
I guess you just gotta put it back in the world. If something happens like that where you do find a $5 bill and you kept it or whatever, you just gotta put $5 back. Tip your waitress $5 extra on the next meal. Or
if y'all are listening right now in the drive-thru, pay for the person behind you.
Right, pay it forward.
See what happens.
That was another good website. Do you remember what I'm talking about? It was just a bunch of random acts of awesomeness. That's what it was called. That was a good one. Yeah. But yeah, pay it forward, folks. Do something nice for your fellow humans today.
Oh my goodness.
If y'all take anything away from this smorgasbord, of a podcast that we're just talking about everything.
That was fun though. Like now I want to go look at more of this.
I know.
why I'm broke stuff. This is amazing.
I know, right? Like, I just want to go back on that website and buy everything. Y'all, thank you. Seriously,
you so much
if we don't say it enough,
listening.
we're sorry. Yeah, y'all are awesome. Y'all are the best audience in the world. And if you haven't followed us on Instagram, go do that. We're trying to get our numbers up on Instagram. Oh,
yes. I wanted to tap on that again real quick. We're going to start.
A thing.
Yeah, start. If you're listening to this podcast, screenshot it where you're listening.
Yeah.
Post it on your Instagram story. It'll only sit there for 24 hours.
We're going to try to get it all over the world.
Then we're going to repost it on our story.
Yeah, we're going to see where everybody is.
Show you some love.
You know what we should do? We should get like a map, and every time somebody screenshots this, their location, like where they are, and figure out, like, that lady that just left a voice message was from Albany, New York. So we could put like a little pin on the thing. That'd be a cool little poster to have back here. You see those maps where you can like scratch off if somebody calls in from that state, you can scratch that state off or whatever.
That would be good. Yeah. Let's do that.
Listen to us, folks. Y'all are in on it. This is where all the brilliant ideas come from, right here.
And then if you, if you're a loyal fan, we'll get you a bag of marshmallows, a giant bag of marshmallows off this.
Cullen's thinking about ordering that for himself anyway. It's just the marshmallows from the Lucky Charms.
That's crazy. All right, I got to go order some stuff.
Okay,
you suck at parking tickets.
Yeah, please get some. Please do some cool, funny pranks. So next week, whenever this is live, we can go on your regular channel and go watch you act in a fool.
Yeah, we're gonna get you Skyped in. We gotta get you Skyped in at least for a minute.
Thank y'all so much.
For watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching and listening. See you next week.
Peace.
Yay! Woo! Dude, I'm telling you, some of this stuff, I'm ordering it today. Look at this, a giant candy bar.
Oh, those are so good too. The Tumbarolis or however you say it.
I don't think I've ever had one.
Oh, they're like.
Are they?
Oh my god, they're so
you know what?